Hi, folks. Welcome into another edition of This Week in Pearl. I am your host, Frank Hutton, and I'm excited for today's show. Today is the last show of the year for This Week in Pearl, and we're going to have some special guests today. Our guys from the Capitol. We're going to bring in Representative Gene Newman and, of course, our own Senator Dean Kirby. We are going to discuss the next legislative session, the 2026 year, and trust me, there is a lot that's going to be going on. So don't go anywhere. Stay right there, because when we come back, we will have Under the Dome. Be right back.
Here in Pearl, we have Trustmark Park. It seats 8,500 people. It's a great venue that we have here locally. You can catch a baseball game. We have a new team, the Mississippi Mud Monsters, so we're so excited about that. And Trustmark Park, the stadium's been fully renovated. Adjacent to that, we have Bass Pro Shop, as well as the Mississippi outlets that people can come shop and enjoy and have a great time. So it's a good place to come. It's a destination spot for our city. We did a $12 million renovation to our Parks and Rec several years ago, and what we were missing was another key area for our children to come and just be able to hang out and have fun, but also have some playground equipment that was really cutting edge. I've always thought if you can get your community together, then you can have a stronger sense of community. And I think that's what Main Street brings to the table for us. And even though we're a post-World War II city and our architectural doesn't signify a downtown, we're trying to have an area that we create that people can come together and have a sense of community.
Edition of This Week in Pearl, where we are going under the dome for our last show this year. We're going under the dome with our esteemed guest today, Senator Dean Kirby and Representative Gene Newman. Hello, guys.
Hello. Couldn't do no better this time.
No, I want to have you guys back. I mean, it's kind of just recapping the show. We've had a great year. I mean, we had some fun in the legislature. Y'all played with us a little bit in the first part of the year. Okay. Yeah, it was some fun in the legislature.
A couple of days.
Had all the budgets. I mean, that was just loads of fun, and we managed to get through all of that. And then we had some really wonderful guests and stuff on the show. I did want to just I would be amiss if we didn't mention some of one of the ones that I really enjoyed that we just recently did was going down and seeing our new Supreme Court Justice Jennifer Branning.
That was good. I watched that. It was very good.
It was great of her to host us down there, and we appreciated her very much. Y'all liked we got to ride the private elevator. Did you see that?
I saw that. Lucky somebody.
Yeah, we were like, this is we
put a robe on.
I know, we went in the robe room, and that was, I think that's something that people just don't normally get to see.
She'll make a great judge.
Yes, she will. And then it popped in on Kenny Griffiths because he had recently been on the show. That was fun. But and just so what people will know, you can go back and watch them. We've had the Speaker, Jason White. We've had the Lieutenant Governor, Delbert Hosemann. We had Shanda Yates that came on, and we'll talk a little bit more about her later. We had Briggs Hobson, Sean Tyndall. I just mentioned Kenny Willie Simmons. Willie Simmons, was that not incredible?
Yeah. He was good.
And for him to be able to talk about his childhood and growing up, on a sharecropper farm. And I mean, I wonder how many people out there really even knew that about him.
No, very few.
Very few. And he was so open, and talking about his family and his upbringing. And of course, he's very proud of all his children and his grandchildren, as he should be. But I thought that was great. And then Wendy Bailey, that was fun having Wendy in and talking about, because we just had a ribbon cutting from her, over there. And that was great. Andy Gibson coming in, and then Gerard Gilbert. And I can't help but mention one that was really, we were just talking about it, was Ted Booth from Pierre. Now I want you to talk a little bit about Ted, because if you don't know, Pierre is your investigative committee. And it's kind of like IA, I guess. You get a peer investigation, you don't want to see them coming.
You don't want peer coming to your agency.
I mean, you need to go back and watch it, because I liked the idea that you could invite them in, as an agency head, and say, help me understand where my inefficiencies are, especially if you're new and you're just appointed.
And they do a great job. They really do. And Ted's only been there,
30-something years,
36 maybe.
Right. He's had every job I think they have there. And
it's really good.
And it was really a fun interview. So was there one that stuck out in you guys' mind over the year that was maybe one of your favorite ones?
Oh, wow. I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah, I was just going to say, every guest that I had and every guest that he had, they were all good. They provided a lot of information. I know most of the people that watch this show was not aware of what all was involved in the mental health and what all was involved in the highway department. It's every one of the things, all the information that was provided for the fair when Andy came on, and there's a lot of things that goes on in this state that most people don't have any idea that's going on.
Yeah, and I thought Briggs Hobson did a really good job, and I really appreciate the Lieutenant Governor, because what the people don't know out here is he came and did this show, and then somehow it got messed up. You remember the sound didn't work, and he had to come back and do it again. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate him doing that. So he had to do 2 for 1 there.
2 for 1. That was fun. All right, so I enjoyed it. We just recently had the mayor on too, and we recapped.
He did a good job.
What Jake? He did a great job. He's my favorite one.
You hear that, don't you?
Yeah, you hear that, Jake, right? Yeah, you're my favorite one. All right, so legislatively this year, let's talk about a little bit of, let's do some kudos. Let's talk about what we have done. Now, I know one of the biggest things that I think is important to you is the amount of debt that's been paid off. Share that.
I actually, just a few minutes ago, on the back of an envelope, wrote down a few things that we have done this year.
Right.
Well, in the last 6 years, let's say this, we paid off over $1 billion in state.
Now repeat that.
1 billion with a B.
It's more like $1.5 billion.
Well, no. Well, yeah, it's really 1.2 billion. Is what it is.
In state debt that has been retired.
Retired debt.
Wow.
We've also given the teachers and state employees pay raise. We've also, in education, gone from 48th in our testing and standings to like 15th or 16th. We've cut taxes, and we've cut back the size of government, and still we have the number you would think about, $1.5 billion, maybe a little more, in reserves in the rainy day fund. This state is in the best financial shape that's ever been in, ever. And that doesn't just...
Like ever,
since we became a state. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, and that didn't just happen. I mean, that happens through good leadership, like Gene and others.
Sure.
On both sides, because it takes both sides to do anything. So, when you think about all the things that we've done, and people say they don't do anything up there. Well, those things don't just happen. I mean, somebody has to work really hard, and you have to have some good leadership to make it happen, and we've done that. I'm very proud of what we've accomplished. We've got more to do, and I'm real proud of the things happening in Pearl and Rankin County.
No kidding.
A lot of good things.
There's a lot.
The Highway Patrol building is opening up in December, by the way, and they'll have a ribbon cutting out there for that. On the 25th, they're going to have a ribbon cutting for the new
Dean Kirby Expressway.
I don't think it's going to be that, but I'll work hard on it.
It's going to be the new Dean Kirby Expressway, right, Gene? That's what it's the new Dean Kirby Expressway. That's what we need to call it. Ties right into the Ray Rogers Road and Dean Kirby Expressway. There you go.
Well, I don't know about all that, but it's really going to be nice. And Willie Simmons was excited about it. I got him more excited when I was telling him about if something happens to the stack, if there's a wreck on the stack, or how people can go around the stack.
I know.
Type thing. So
Yeah.
it's just really going to help flow a lot in Rankin County, and people going north to south, wherever it may be.
Now, to refresh people's memory, you introduced the bill
In '93,
in '93 on that very
I
parkway,
did.
which is why I'm ribbing you a little bit about it being the Kirby
Well,
Expressway.
and then we had a lot of dirt problems.
Oh yeah.
And then we had a lawsuit. and then we ran out of money because things kept going up. And so we had to pass another bill, which I did. I didn't do it. I mean, I introduced it. But,
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
But it takes all of us to pass a bill. But anyway, making it a state highway.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, we got federal money so we could finish it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a pain, but it's happened. And I'm excited about
Yeah.
it. Going to be open on the 25th of November.
I know, right? That's going to be so, and you'll be there
I will
to
be there.
christen the Dean Kirby Expressway.
And Gene, Gene Newman just told me he's going to be speaking. So everybody wants to hear him speak. They need to come out there.
And you're christening it
I guess so. I don't know.
Kirby Road.
I don't know. Commissioner Simmons called me and said he wanted me to speak about it, so I'll know.
I don't
If
know
that's what he wants me to do, I'll do it.
You'll talk
Hopefully he'll
about
forget between now and then.
somehow I don't think so. I don't see that happening. But it has
I'm
been.
excited about it.
But that's a laundry list of stuff.
It is, and of course, the bridge that we did on Pearson Road,
Mhm.
going over the road,
The intermodal.
was unbelievable. We're working on it's not in Pearl, but a lot of people go that way. We're working on another overpass right now on Highway 18 there by the Honda place where the railroad track is. We
Mhm.
want to put a bridge over that railroad there,
Mm-hmm.
and we hope to have one out at Whitfield someday at the railroad track there,
Mhm.
because traffic just gets awful.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, those are two pain points. And if you want the southern parts of the county to grow,
yeah.
then you're going to have to cross that train track.
And to be honest with you, it's growing whether we want to.
Whether we want to or not, but it's really going to be, it's a hindrance for emergency vehicles. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Especially right there where that bottleneck you're talking about, the state
Oh,
hospital.
Absolutely.
That's a bottleneck for sure.
I think what really helped us in getting this bridge out here where the trains were constantly blocking it on Pearson Road.
Mhm.
I think what happened there is the fire trucks go on the trains there and they're watching a house burn on the other side of the train.
Yeah, there's just nothing you can do.
And that's awful, but what if it had been someone having a heart attack on the other side of the road? So, yeah, and I'm sure that's probably happened.
I'm sure.
So anyway,
Unfortunately.
we've got those things and
Mhm.
a lot more. And Gene's
Mhm.
been very helpful in those. And
Mhm.
we've got a lot of things done.
Y'all
Well, we
have.
got a lot more to do.
And I have definitely noticed the decrease in my grocery bill.
Have you noticed it?
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Because I'll and that's usually because I've noticed it when I go in and just buy like one or two items, and I'll do the math in my head because I'm just used to doing it, and it's a different number when I check. I'm like, oh yeah, the grocery tax has gone down.
Well, I'd love to take credit for that, but I don't think I can. I don't think I had anything to do with that.
But that did that, and then of course I guess I'll see how my state taxes look coming up next year, right?
Right.
Well, they're chipping away down every year, so
Yeah.
they've been working that way for a while, and they'll just keep on working.
Yeah, like I say, to do all the things we've done in lower taxes and have as much money as we have in the bank.
And as you pointed out, I would be remiss if I didn't say it one more time. There's 1.5 billion with a B in the bank,
It is.
and you've paid over $1 billion with a B in state debt. Paid it off, retired it.
That's correct.
How much more is to go?
All in the last 6 years.
All the last 6 years. How much state debt is left? Do you know?
Oh, we had our limit at one time was 12 billion, I think, bonding.
Okay.
And I really don't. I think we're down to around 8,
Mhm.
8 to 9.
Right.
I'm not
But those are
really sure.
bonds, obviously,
Yeah.
that people want to invest in.
That's over the many years.
Over the many years, right.
Getting good things that we
Mhm.
needed. We
Right.
didn't have the money, and we'd have to borrow the money.
Right. Well, I mean, being able to have that paid down would allow you to do another large project by issuing a bond issue on it, and it wouldn't hurt the state's credit rating or anything.
That's all.
It really makes the state in a very solid
Now,
financial
we've
footing.
had to do some bonding over the years for
Mhm.
large projects.
Sure.
Back many years, Nissan, Toyota, those types.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right. So
but we got them, and you can't tell those 5,000 people that work out there that wasn't a good deal.
no, you can't.
They're all very happy.
They're all very happy with it. All right. So we're coming up on the end of the year, which means in just a few months, you guys go back to work at the Capitol. I know y'all are looking so forward to that.
Like 6 weeks, but
I know, right?
it ain't even
Oh,
a couple of months.
I know it's literally
Wow.
6 weeks. What's
I mean,
what's opening day this time?
So Thanksgiving is what, next week?
Yep,
And we're 4 weeks to Christmas from Thanksgiving.
from there.
So we're about 6 weeks away.
And you're, what is it? The what day is the opening day this year? Sixth. The sixth. I think it's the 5th or the 6th, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be sure.
You won't be sure because I know that
The 6th.
this. Okay, that's what I was thinking. It was the 6th. So you're right. It's like 6-7 weeks, and you're in session, and there's a lot on your plate. There's a lot going on.
It
Let's.
is, and a lot of bills have already been pre-filed, and a lot of things are going to happen. It's going to be a very, very hard year.
So I'm understanding. So the speaker. We'll cover the House side real quick. The speaker. The speaker has laid out an agenda. He's just said it's a bold and uncomfortable reform. That was one of some of the words that he used, you know, in his speech in the Neshoba County Fair.
Uncomfortable for us.
Bold for him and uncomfortable for, and of course, obviously, I mean, this is why we have an elected body. This is why we have debates. This is why we go through the process we go through. He's talking about setting an agenda. It doesn't mean it gets passed. Just because he sets an agenda does not mean he automatically gets what he wants. It's in a dictatorship. It doesn't work that way. But these are just some of the things he's talked about that he wants to do. I know one of the uncomfortable things that people don't like talking about is school choice and education reform. Now, that's on the plate, right, Gene? That's
his number one.
That's his number one priority, right?
He's made that very plain. He's made that very clear, and I've made it very clear that I can't be for it.
Right.
For a lot of reasons, but one of the things that they're including in there is to pay for private schools, to do vouchers, or whatever word you savings
Right.
accounts, whatever word you want to say. But I want
Sure.
to read you something from our Constitution. Mississippi Constitution, Article 8, Section 208. No religious or other sect or sects shall ever control any part of the school or other educational funds of this state, nor shall any funds be appropriated toward the support of any sectarian school or to any school that at the time of receiving such appropriation is not conducted as a free school. That's not funny language. That's just
That's pretty
as plain as
straightforward.
you can get kit.
Yeah.
You can't take money and give it to a private school. I don't care what kind of little funds you're going to put it in or anything else. In my opinion, you can't do that. So I will vote against that every time. Now, if they want to, you know, they keep saying how they have these polls that show how everybody wants, you know, that to happen. They want school choice. If that's true, then let's do a constitutional amendment, change that where you can give money to private schools. And if everybody votes for it, then we'll know that's what they want. We won't be any question about it. But they don't want to do that, so it tells me that they really don't think it'll pass.
Okay, so I hypothetically, still hypothetical. Say you do get something passed. It does get through the legislature, it passes. Now we're talking about it would get immediately held up because there would be lawsuits, obviously, because of what you're stating. You would need the Supreme Court
Opinion, yes.
to weigh on this
Right.
issue. It would be you would be saying it's an unconstitutional law.
I am saying that. I'm not a judge. I'm not
Right,
a lawyer,
obviously.
But I mean, I can read English.
Sure.
I had some pretty good English
Right.
teachers in this school right here that we're in.
In this very building, right here, right? Yes.
But I mean, I don't have the best language skills in the world, but I can read English
Sure,
and I
sure.
understand it. And
Right.
I know what that says.
Right.
So I won't ever vote for a bill that has that in it.
Right.
For any
Now,
reason.
obviously, on the Senate side, there's been some discussion about that as well, because Delbert Hoseman has mentioned it. He had in his speeches, he hasn't really drilled down on school choice. So I'm not, I don't know how much the Senate's going to take it up there, Senator. What are your
Well,
thoughts?
I mean, we haven't taken it up the last 2 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Even in committee, because the votes just weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they are at this point. Now, we possibly could have some type of watered down type legislation where it would be in district only, and the school has to accept them and that type of stuff. And but in district only means in Pearl, you can go from one high school to another.
Yeah, we'll go
We
from
only
Pearl
have
High School
one.
to Pearl High School.
Yeah.
Right.
So
We have one.
It wouldn't make any difference if we did that in
Right.
Pearl. Now, it would make a difference in Rankin County.
Sure.
Now, what I don't want to see, and it's happened in Florida, I understand it's a lawsuit on it, where a kid would go to one school to play football, and then the semester change and go to another school to play baseball.
That's under what they call a Tebow bill.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
where
that's for the
their home
homeschool.
school,
Yeah.
and that lawsuit involves a
So-
young man who actually played football for one school and they went to go play baseball for the other.
So I would think if we have anything in the Senate, it would be that if you change schools for any extracurricular activity, you'd have to sit out 1 year, if we have anything.
Right. Yeah, that's the if we have anything
Yeah.
from the Senate side.
But to be honest
Right.
with you, I've talked to most of the senators, and the bill that we looked at in the past, I found 2 senators, I think, that are for it out of 52.
Wow.
But
Now,
that can be watered down to, but when you do that, when you do water a bill down and we pass it, then we're going to get sued too. We're going to get sued because you're discriminating against my child.
sure.
But I have a lot of problems with it, like Gene, and one of the problems I have, if you have a kid from another school district come in, if their parents live there and they own a home and all, they're paying school taxes over there, but yet I realize the state money would follow, but the property taxes, the school taxes still going to that school district over there. I have a problem with the contracts for the teachers. They sign on the first part of April, I think. So you're going to have a teacher that possibly can come in and have 3 kids or have 50 kids in her class. It's just a lot of problems that I don't know the answers to, and we'll find out.
I guess that's why we have a deliberative body like the state legislature.
I reckon so.
Right, so that y'all can flesh all this out. So we're not obviously going to solve the problem here at the
Well,
table today,
and-
but y'all
and
get
I'm-
to talk about these things.
And I'm really thankful for the House, and I'm
Yeah.
sure they're thankful for the Senate, because sometimes we'll pass something that really sounds good, then you find out there's a lot of problems over on the other side, and they'll kill the bill or amend it, and we appreciate it. I think wasn't it Harry Truman that they used to drink his coffee out of a saucer, and they asked him why, and he said, "Well, it's just like the House and Senate. It's hot, and I sip it out of the saucer." To let it cool down, and then after it cools down, so he said, then I'll drink it out of the cup, and that's kind of the way it is with us. It's the same thing. We have a lot of issues. Anything that's controversial, you can bet it's going to help people, but it's also going to hurt people. So you need to really, really measure and make sure you're doing the right thing, which is difficult at times.
Of course it is. I mean, and this issue is just going to keep coming around and around and around, obviously, because we've talked about it in the past,
Yeah.
and apparently we're going to talk about it again.
I'll say this, Frank. I've probably had close to 200 emails, texts, and phone calls, and none have been for school choice.
Really?
I'm
Not
talking
one.
on that issue.
On that,
I've had like
so is it the people who were
the people are telling me they don't want it. Yeah, are you getting
That's
this
the same thing I got. I got 2 people that's told me they wanted school choice. Both of those wanted money to go to private schools, and primarily because of athletics.
Yeah,
Really?
and that's another problem.
Yeah, that's
Besides athletics,
right.
Let's say that you've had a kid in private school for 10 years, and then here come the others, and then they get $6,500 or $7,000 toward their tuition. How about me? I've been there 10 years, or that's what they're going to say.
Of course.
So if you're going to do them, you got to do all.
You got to
of them.
do all of them. Right.
That's the way it looks to me, but I don't think you can discriminate against people.
Yeah, from a government standpoint, you can't discriminate, and that almost seems like it.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the way it looks to
that's
me.
the way it
Because
appears.
there are people that have kids in private school, and I've known some that have worked 2 jobs. Their husband or wife would work 2 jobs so they could send their kid to that school because they weren't particularly happy at that school. And they want to go to a private school for that reason or for other reasons. And of course, there's all kind of reasons to go. I mean, people say because of religious schools, because of the athletic programs because of, I mean, just academics. I mean, there's all kind of reasons. They might offer courses that those schools don't offer. So I understand that. But I don't believe in discriminating against people that are working 2 jobs to send their kids there and you won't give them anything. That's wrong.
Do you think this debate, and I'll open this up to both of you, do you think this school choice debate is really more surface, and we really need to go back and address the underlying problems with school districts that are having issues?
I think that's the real problem. I think that's what we need to be focused on.
Yeah.
Solving why. I mean, why do some schools get on probation, get taken over by the state, they get released off probation, and 2 years later they're right back in the same situation?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what we need to
Is
solve.
that not where we really need to be focusing our
I think so.
putting our efforts,
I think so.
instead of trying to move people out of a failing district because they keep failing? I mean, to me, it makes more sense to talk about failing school districts and just be honest and open up front about it. Your district fails, it keeps failing, we take it over. We're just going to do away with your district and we're going to merge it into somebody else's that's doing a better job.
Yep.
I mean, to me, that's more of a practical approach. I mean, that's Frank's opinion.
That's Gene's opinion too.
But this talking about school choice stuff, I mean, this debate's just going to keep going. To me, that's just trying to fix a symptom. That's not curing the problem.
That's right.
You know, our city even passed not the school, but the city passed a resolution against it.
Yes. Yeah, and I think for the majority of Pearlonians, we aren't for it. I mean, we have a good school. It's a separate school district. If you want to come to Pearl, we're building a bunch of houses. Buy one. We have some apartments. Move into one. I mean, that's
There's a ton of rental houses in
there's
Pearl.
tons of rental houses. I mean, come to Pearl and you can go to Pearl schools. That solves your problem right there. You don't need a legislative act to make that happen. Just move over here. We're glad to have you. Come on.
Doors open.
Doors open. All right.
Well, we've got a good school system in Pearl and Rankin County, and we've done, like I say, statewide, we've done very well to move up to like 16th in the nation.
16th in the nation from the bottom.
Yeah, we're doing some things right.
We're doing things right. Let's not upset the apple.
Some of the other things that they've got on education is they do want. This is from the Department of Education. They want to put in an 8th grade gate. I don't know what that's going to cover. I mean, but they're talking about doing some type of testing at the 8th grade that they have to be able to, in order to move into high school, that they have to have a certain level. I think that
What kind of proficiency?
Yeah,
Like a
but
3rd grade lead.
just like the 3rd grade gate is on reading, this will be an 8th grade gate on possibly math or something. I'm not sure exactly what they're wanting to cover, but that's
haven't
something the
seen
Department of Education. One of the things that I've heard that they wanted. So, and I think that's worth looking at.
Agreed. I do too. And then, of course, I mean, the president really wants to do away with the federal Department of Education. I know he keeps talking about downsizing that and returning that money to the states.
And let me say this too, since we're on that subject, you're talking about the president. The president's for school choice.
He is.
But the reason he doesn't represent Brandon and Pearl, and
Correct.
I mean, he represents everyone. You think about it, if you had and could make a change in Detroit and Chicago and Los Angeles and Houston and Dallas, those inner city schools that are total chaos.
Yes.
We don't have total chaos like that.
We do not.
And if we did, then maybe we need to consider it, but we do not. And so that's another thing. And his constituency and our constituencies, even though they're the same, they're different.
Right, they are. And you're exactly right to bring that up.
Well, I think Reagan was the best president we've ever had. He was for school choice. I didn't agree with him then. I don't agree with it now.
Noted. Yes. I mean, I believe that's a political position. Maybe personally, he's not for it.
Well, for certain areas, you should say he's for it.
His son ain't never going to a public school.
No, of course not.
So,
Or his son's sons.
Right.
Yeah.
Or never going to a public school. So that's wrong. All right. So more stuff other than school choice on the list. I did want to jump down to something on the Senate side that talk about just a little bit area is something that you've talked about, which is the economic development workforce. Streamlining. We're talking about cough buttons earlier. We're talking about growing the growing the economy. And you mentioned about the debt and how much money we have, and that's one of the things that the Lieutenant Governor has on his plate this year is more infrastructure, roads, bridges. You mentioned one in Rankin County,
Yes.
but I think that's more of a statewide thing, right? That he's interested in redoing some of our infrastructure.
Oh, no doubt about that. And you can't go anywhere in Mississippi without seeing orange barrels right now.
Especially on 49.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Inconvenient, but you'd see on 49 how much difference it's made. You'd see on Lakeland Drive how much difference it's made to have those barrels and to add those lanes and to make a difference in those highways and move traffic. And it's not just to move traffic; it's for safety purposes. Because people get in a hurry, and the more congested, the more wrecks you're going to have. So.
I know that's on his deal. And then the other thing too was also y'all talked about in the healthcare industry, especially on the Senate side, and it's something that on the state side that y'all are going to be bringing up is this nurse practitioners, and y'all are going to revisit this again according to the Lieutenant Governor.
Okay.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't understand, know what I'm talking about, it's where the nurse practitioner works for a general physician, but the conversation is about pulling that out from underneath there and allowing them to do a little bit more with that.
And to be honest with you, in some rural areas, I think it's important where you don't have a doctor within 20 miles or 40 miles or whatever, especially in the Delta areas. I think probably they should have a little more authority. But those in the urban areas, no, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So
They're still not doctors.
No, they're not.
They're not doctors, and we have plenty of doctors here. So, I've said, I've been quoted in the paper even saying, if you want to be a doctor, go to med school.
Mm-hmm.
The end. I just feel that way.
That's the same place I am.
And I don't know if that's necessarily, the speaker hasn't necessarily spoken about that one particular thing, but do you see
He's pushed it.
Do you see that coming up this year?
He's pushed it in the past. I would assume he'll push it again.
It'll be there again.
Yeah. Well, when I was chairman of public health and Medicaid several years ago, that was an issue then. And we made some really drastic changes to help the nurse practitioners then. They used to be limited, like you had to get a doctor within 20 miles or something. Mm-hmm. And so we went to 50 miles where they, and then they were still not happy. So we said, okay, if you're in Tupelo, you're going to have a consulting doctor in Biloxi if you want to. There's no limit as far as miles.
Corinth to Biloxi, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And,
wow.
The big issue with that, with the doctors and the nurse practitioners is they got so many doctors that won't sign off on what nurse practitioners doing. They're not willing to accept that liability, and especially with them not being in close proximity to them. And a lot of the ones that are out there that have been doing it in the past are retiring, and the nurse practitioners that are operating on their own under those doctors are having a hard time finding another doctor. So that's part of the issue.
Yeah, and we had retired doctors, and that's all they were doing. They really weren't practicing. All they were doing is working with nurse practitioners. And we limited that, by the way, too, to how many doctors you can have. I mean, how many a doctor can have or can be the consulting physician with. So we've tried to work with them the best we can to make it. And I'm going to tell you, I see nurse practitioners all the time, and they're really good. But I have a heart attack. I don't want to see a nurse practitioner.
Right, you want to see a cardiologist.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, and I agree. I agree with that completely. I think you said you sit right next to one. Who sits right next to you?
I do.
You do. You sit right
next to
my desk mate is a nurse practitioner.
And a very nice guy, and I'm sure does a good job.
You said he's been practicing for how long?
For a long time. I mean, he's not young. He's close to my age.
You trust him at any given moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
But he's not. But he's not. But he's not. He's not a heart doctor. So
yeah.
Well, I have a nurse in the family, and we have discussed this very subject, and my nurse son has said that the legislature needs to fix the issue where you go from nursing school straight into nurse practitioner school, and you've never so much as set foot in nursing ever. You just automatically come out as a nurse practitioner. He said he sees it all the time, and they don't know anything.
Yeah, I see it all the time too, and I don't like it at all.
And he's like, we need to fix that, where you at least have to have some years before you can even apply to nurse practitioner.
Right. Well, that's the school pushing that, because they want the students.
They won't, obviously, but he said that's a health hazard. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And it needs to be addressed. And I don't disagree. I mean, that's from the
He's exactly right. That's what my wife says all the time too.
It does.
She's a nurse.
Right. And she says the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to agree with that. Probably. That's probably something that needs to be debated.
Well, I'm thankful for the nurse practitioners, but they need to know their limit, and the people need to know their limit.
I mean, he had just said,
And most do.
and he works in a hospital, in a big hospital. And he said these kids coming out of nursing school that just immediately go to nurse practitioner school, they show up in the ER and they don't know anything.
Yeah.
But yet, they're the senior nurse on the floor.
Well,
And, they have no idea what they're doing.
Right.
For a nurse anesthetist, they have to work like in an emergency room for like after nursing school. They have to work at least 2 years and then apply for and nurse anesthetist. And it's a shortage of those. Speaking of shortage, I haven't looked at it lately, but that's one thing I forgot to mention. We have this new nursing school building
Yes,
at Hines in Rankin County. And I don't know, I mean, I read in the paper, no one told me they were doing this, but I also read in the paper where the board supervisor and Hines have approved dormitories to build a dormitory at Hines in Rankin County. Things are changing.
Things are changing. Yes, they are. Exciting. So, I mean, that's two things right there that's going to make life exciting in the legislature coming up in 26, and I got a third one. Let's talk about it for just a minute. The governor's talking about funding PERS.
That's correct. The governor has recommended that we take $1 billion of the money that we have and put it into PERS and pay it up once and for all, so that the shortfall that's hanging over our heads out there, that's so many $1 billion 30 years from now, would go away. When we can put it where it needs to be, they can fix the amount that it's paid on interest, that where they set their interest rate, and we can go forward. We don't have to fool with it again. Now, $1 billion seems extraordinary amount. I don't know that that's the amount that's required.
Right.
I would think it could be less, but I'm in agreement that we need to fix it. Let's just get it off the plate and let's quit hearing about it and be done with it. So, that way, people that's retiring ain't got to worry about it, but they know it's going to be funded. And it's my understanding if you took like $750 million and you put that amount up, that's just a figure that's been thrown out. But if you put $750 million up, in 20 years it would be 92% funded. In other words,
which is unbelievable because the federal government only wants us to be at 80.
Yeah, but I mean that's just that amount. That was the figure that was thrown up was 750 in 20 years. It'd be funded 92%. So
On the Senate side, I think we just have to look at that and see we have the money right now.
Sure.
But we don't want, we want to make sure without a doubt that it doesn't hurt education, doesn't hurt public safety, corrections and Medicaid and all these other things. Yeah. So but I think we all agree that we're ready to put this thing to bed.
I mean, we've talked about it forever.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we've got the fifth tier now, and need to just go forward and fix it. Once we've got that part fixed, let's fix the other part and be done with it.
And be done with it.
Yeah.
Basically, get funded. So you see this coming up in the session really more geared that way.
We've actually had some calls of people wanting to know if they can go from the old system to the new.
Well, I think I said that. I mean, you didn't give me an on-ramp to be able to say, look, I want to go to the new system because it might be actually more beneficial.
Let me say this for both of us. Anyone watching, if you're a retired employee, if you're a current employee, or you become an employee before March the 1st, you're under the old program, The old program hasn't changed. We are not going to change the 13th check.
Right.
Everyone's getting a 13th check through their COLA. Will continue to do so. We're not going to mess with it. The end, period.
That's why we're talking about fully funded.
That's right. That's the reason we're talking about it.
If we get fully funded and get it done, and there's no discussion anymore about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Current retirees.
And you know, that never has been an issue, but people panic and bring,
know.
but we've always said no one messes with 13th check ever since I've been there. Well, not ever since, because we had the COLA, but it wasn't at 3% until in the 90s, or middle 90s, I think.
Yeah, I mean, everybody gets all upset. And they're
Oh, yeah.
not really hearing what's going on.
Yeah.
Watch this show. we'll tell you what's going on. So the fully funding idea, I think, is a good idea. But
Yeah.
I don't want to put it at expense of, say, education or something else.
Well,
I'm sure there's some kind of
yeah,
number you guys.
Yeah, that's the thing. We just got to find the right number.
That you have can probably give
Sure.
you a number.
But things can change so quickly. Let me tell you, in 1 month, maybe it was May of 2020, I believe it might have been, we lost $250 million that month under estimate. $250 million. So you can't have a lot of those months, and we haven't had since then. But yeah, we continue
That
to
was
grow.
COVID. That was
COVID.
Yeah, that was COVID.
Right, that was COVID.
It got us.
Right.
I mean, and so you don't ever know what's going to happen.
you
But-
shut everything down, it'll take the money away. It's kind of funny
Yeah,
how it
when
works.
people don't
Shut the
spend
government
money.
down, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You know, you
Well, they didn't just shut the government down; they shut everything down. They shut down businesses and everything. It's made people close up.
Yeah.
picking on the Democrats for shutting the government
Schools
down.
and all.
No reason at all other than just to do it, which was cost us about 1 trillion in gross domestic
Yeah.
product. But that'll ripple down eventually. We'll get that cleared out of there. But anyway.
But we're excited about this coming year.
Yes.
Anyway, we really are. And you know, Gina's really pushed something that I feel strongly about, and the Senate feels strongly about, in the workforce training that you'd mentioned earlier. Gene even has a commercial about workforce training on
He
pro
does.
football.
He does.
And he's exactly right. And we need to continue to push that. The Lieutenant Governor's pushing that
I know
hard.
that's hard on his. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
That's hard on his
Yeah.
on his agenda.
We have the best junior college system. I know community college, but it's always going to be the junior college system to me. So, but we have the best one in the country. Ain't no doubt about it. I mean, the weakest school we have is Coahoma Community College, and even it's still better than most of what you find in any other state. So you know, we have the best junior college system, but we need to make it better. We need to just keep working on it, and we need to make sure we're getting they're having a hard time getting instructors and stuff for technical schools and stuff. We need to make sure we're getting those paid enough so that they can hire those people and keep them, not just hire
Well,
them.
that's what it comes down to is pay.
Yeah.
We've got to pay those people.
Right.
Yeah, because when they can make a whole lot more money out there doing a regular job, they're not going to come teaching in junior college. They're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Or take
Yeah.
people that have been in that sector for 25, 30 years that are ready to leave it, that want to come do something else, and to work a way to
That's
make
right.
that
And they want-
semi-retired person want to come pass their knowledge down.
That's
You
right.
don't want to lose that.
Well, those teachers want to share their knowledge. They want to teach people and teach them the right way.
Mhm.
And to get those type of people, you're going to have to pay
You're
them.
going to have to pay them. But y'all have done pay raises in the past, so I know that's
We just
happen.
haven't we haven't addressed that well enough.
And we were laughing about this earlier. I'm going to bring it up because I want to. When are we going to give you guys a pay raise? When's that going to happen? I mean,
We're not doing it.
It's been since '82. Okay, so
The legislature last pay raise was 1982.
which is absurdly ridiculous. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, in Frank's opinion, that this doesn't make any sense. Why? And I understand the
Now-
perception of it out in the public. But and I want to throw this out there. Here's where this is. We just talked about bringing in good teachers, and we have to pay them to do that.
Yeah.
That also is the same thing in legislature.
Absolutely.
The legislatures, we have to pay good people to want to do the job. I mean,
Well, and because you're getting retired people and you're getting owners of businesses, is what you're getting, because people can't afford to lose their job to do it. And
to
it's,
do it.
yeah. So I mean, we've lost some good senators because their boss says you're just gone too much. I got to have you here.
right.
So
I think that needs to be addressed. I'm not saying it's going to happen in this legislative session.
Oh,
I'm
no.
only throwing it out there that enough's enough at some point. I mean, let's just be realistic here.
Yeah.
That's 50 years.
Well,
That's 50 years that we haven't touched.
well, people get us confused with those in Washington, and they get like pay raises every year.
Yeah, don't
type
get me
deal.
started.
And, we don't. We
Don't
do.
get me started. But that's when you start throwing the number out there. You talk about since '82. That was 50 years ago,
Yeah.
Senator. Come on now. The cost of things.
I'm for it, and I don't care if we pass one. We need to make it effective the next term, so it doesn't affect those that are there now.
That
Only
would-
the new one. And
Obviously
I'm
that
for
would
it.
be great. But that needs to be discussed, and it really needs to be put on the plate because we need to attract people who want to do it, that are capable, that are very smart and knowledgeable, especially in the areas that they work in or are educated in, and we need those people
Yeah.
helping lead this state to move the state forward. I mean, when you guys finally decide that y'all have had enough, I mean, who's your replacement? I mean, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking about.
Back in the old days, I used to hear some guys, but they'd be talking about they need to do a pay raise, and one of them would always say, "Well, I don't want to raise my pay, then somebody run against me."
Exactly.
Well, that's okay.
That's wanting power over pay, isn't it? Isn't that really more what that boils
That's
down
what
to?
that boils down to.
All right.
Well, I do think in any business you have to pay good people to keep them.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're finding out in the Senate we're losing a lot of employees.
We're losing people, and that really needs to be addressed. So, Lieutenant Governor, if you're watching, we really need to put that on the. And I'm with the senator here. We'll just make it effective for the next legislative session.
But that's right.
But that needs to come on now. That really needs to be done. And that's. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has that opinion, but that really just needs
Well,
to be
the
done.
ideal thing would have been to tie it in with the teacher pay raise, and teachers would like that too, because they say, they're going to vote for it because they're going to get a raise themselves.
They're going to get a raise.
And so I know the teachers would be for, or you can tie it in with judges, or you can tie it in with Washington every time they get a raise.
Or you can just say you haven't had a pay raise in 50 years.
Or you can
and
say-
we're just going to fix it.
Yeah.
Like we're going to do PERS.
Well, everyone, I think, in government, state government has had a pay raise except for legislators. Now, I'm not sitting here saying I need
No,
one, I
no.
have to have one.
Frank
It's just not
Frank
right.
is sitting here saying you need to have one. Clear that up. So, the Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Speaker, we need to make that happen. All right. So, one other topic, real quick. Jackson, Shandy Yates, Representative Newman, Jackson. What do we do with Jackson?
So both the Senate has added the similar committee too, and what we've solved. Well, I'm not going to say we solved it, but we passed 5 or 6 laws last time, which she talked about when she was on here, and I think that those laws are making a difference. I think you're seeing more improvements. You're not seeing any tents or anything like that setting up downtown Jackson and
Right.
anything like that. So, and I think that's affected the whole state, not just Jackson. The big thing that we focused on this year is going back to the law. When we did a hearings, went back to law enforcement to see what other changes needs to be done, and then we focused a lot on water, not just Jackson's water, but Canton got an issue with water, and apparently there's a lot of places has some issues with these water associations and stuff. So I think that the water issues, everybody's aware of all the problems they've got with the billing in Jackson. These apartment complexes deliberately not paying their bills.
Paying their bill.
And
Collection rates at like 70%.
we're looking at making it a criminal offense to collect rent and then not pay the bills and do those kind of things. But we don't have specific language yet or anything, so they're working on that. But I think you're going to see some of that come out. But just doing things that deliberately try to solve problems, not force people to do anything, but to deliberately solve some problems. And when you got an apartment complex that owes $1 million in a water bill, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
And it should have never been allowed to get that like that. But whatever, it needs to be solved. And I think putting some criminal charges on there would help solve some of that.
Well, definitely, I would think so. But now you're holding the owners of the apartment complex criminally liable.
Yeah.
And are you going to pierce the veil, the corporate veil,
Yep.
with that? So it just won't be the corporation.
It won't be the corporation.
We're going to go after the
Yeah, people that
sitting
own
on the
it.
board.
Yeah,
Yeah, that might get some people's attention.
the president and the folks like that.
Well, I understand a lot of people in Jackson have not paid a water bill in years.
And a lot of that because a lot of them hadn't gotten bills.
And then someone gets a bill that's $30,000.
Yeah.
Right. And I think Heflin and Wingate have been going around and around about this very subject. So y'all are going to take something up. I know that's.
Yeah,
That's
we're
on the
we're
agenda.
working on it. That's what
on
I can
the
tell you.
agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are as well. And Walter Michelle chairs the committee, the select committee by the lieutenant governor. I'm on that committee. As a matter of fact, Brian Rhodes from Pelahatchie is also on it. Yeah, and we've had Mayor Horn come in, almost said Senator Horn, Mayor Horn come in and talk to us and tell us some of the problems and some things he would like for us to help him do. And we're going to do our best to help Jackson.
It's our capital city.
It is.
It needs.
But they're going to be responsible, and they're going, in other words, they're going to have to show us. If we do any as far as any money we give them, they're going to have to show us exactly where that money went, what it went for, and make sure that it was competitive bids, the whole deal. So yeah, but we want to help Jackson.
Sure.
But now I know some people in North Mississippi may not, down south may not.
Obviously, but it's our capital city.
It's our capital city. And
But it's also what the laws that we've passed all benefit all the cities because they can all use them.
That's right.
They can all use them to clean up issues that they have. And so the laws that we're passing are not just for Jackson. It's for everybody.
And we're doing all we can do to improve our image in our state to make it better. And it is better and getting better every day. But unfortunately, when it comes down to like not having water and doing those type things and crime and all that, and it's on national news, they think our whole state's like that. So we've got to help change. That's right. And to change our image, we're going to have to do some things to help. And we want to, like I say. And I used to love to go to Jackson at night to different places.
Oh gosh, yes. When I was growing up, absolutely.
Go to Capitol Street during the daytime and shop. And those days are gone, but hopefully with Capitol Police, which is one of the best things we've ever done, without a doubt, and improvements in the city police and more policemen. Things can happen. We can get it under. It's just not going to happen overnight.
No, it's not.
But I think we got a mayor that cares and wants to make a difference.
That's what I was just fixing to ask. You've got a mayor now in Jackson who's from the Senate that really I think works well with you guys.
He does.
And I think he was drinking from a fire hose when he first got there.
2 or 3 fire hoses at the same time.
That's what he said. He said hydrants to me. 3 hydrants.
So y'all will do something, I'm sure, to continue that. And Shandy Gates, on your side, on your committee, I think y'all be working to do some kind of infrastructure improvements and help there. Do you see Wingate staying in this water issue much longer? Do you see this going?
I don't normally see federal judges turn loose or something once they get their teeth into it.
Right? But he probably should, don't you think?
I think he'll stay with it as long as he's got until he feels like Jackson can take it back over.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to go anywhere until then.
Until then. Okay. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's going to be a tough year. We know it's a tough year.
So you really, I mean, Jason White says it's going to be bold but tough. I think his words were, let me give you his exact quote again, just so I won't misquote him. Bold and uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah,
is right.
definitely uncomfortable.
It's already uncomfortable.
It's already uncomfortable.
And we ain't even started yet.
And we're talking about it today,
Yeah.
going into 26, and we're talking about it is. There's a lot of things, PERS, school choice, Jackson, voter reform. You know,
there's a whole lot more. There's going to be 3,000 bills like there always is.
Yeah. Yeah. And we always have one that just slips up on us every year. Now, we have no idea where it comes from, but there's one bill that becomes the number one issue. All at
You
once.
think it's going to be school choice? You think it's going to be this? It's going to be your PERS? You think it's going to be that?
And
then all of a sudden, out of the weeds, someplace, there comes something.
and with, oh my God, where'd that come from?
Totally out of left field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got anything fun to introduce this term?
I don't know about fun.
Have you got a plate full of things?
I've got a plate full of things. Yeah.
Okay.
I got so many I can't even think of them.
All right, but you've got a plate full to add to that 3,000.
Yeah.
I got a couple.
Have you got a plate full? there?
Well, I got a couple, I think.
You got a couple
Yeah.
that are going on. Well, I'm very much looking forward to our first show after we start the session next year, and talk about some of those bills that are coming that we're not talking about yet,
Yeah.
but that we'll talk about the ones that are introduced.
What do we have, 10 days after we go in session for introduction? Isn't it about right? 10
I think
or 12
so,
days?
yeah. 10 or 12 days.
Yeah, so the second week we'll start seeing things come in.
Yeah, and we'll really get deep into
Yeah.
the weeds. That'll be a lot of fun, especially the one. I think as Speaker White says, the one big beautiful bill for 2026. We'll see how that comes to fruition.
Well, you know, you can add a lot of things to a bill to get something else passed.
Sure.
I think our goal is not to do that. I think our goal is to, if it's education, then we're going to do that. If it's this, we're going to do that. You know,
Yeah.
we're not going to depend on one, because one might cause the whole thing to fail.
Right, of course.
So I don't know that we'll have a big, beautiful bill in the Senate. But
We
may take the House.
don't need anything that's 1,000 pages.
I agree. But anyway, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate the year that we had. It was a lot of fun.
It
think we
was
got some
fun.
really
It was a good year.
It was a good
It
year.
was a hard year.
It was a hard year, and next year seems to promise to be similar.
Yeah, we started out picking on the mayor. Let me say this about the show that you did with him the other day. If y'all haven't watched that, you need to go watch it. He did a really good job of explaining what's going on in the city, and what's his attention to detail is amazing to me. It's you need to watch that show just to see how much he knows about what's going on in Pearl every day, all the time. We got a good mayor. We need to keep him for a long time.
We
Was he
do.
not in touch?
He
was a-
works hard.
He
He does a good job.
does a real good job.
I think I pointed that out, that we sat here and talked about all of these things. I've got it in front of me. It was straight off the top of his head.
Yeah.
He did not know what we were talking about. He was not prepared. I didn't say, "Hey, Mayor, this is what we're." Well, he just sat down and had a conversation.
Well, you can have that conversation with him anytime you want to. If you start talking to him about something in the Pearl, he knows about it
He knows about it.
and he keeps up with it. And
He works hard.
he's very diligent at taking care of the city of Pearl. So we got a good guy, and we just need to keep him as long as we can. We don't need to let him go for any reason.
Well, maybe you can convince him of that. You know, he doesn't to stick around.
Well, I still got some handcuffs.
Well, he's done a good job in the past. I'm sure he will in the future. And
Right.
he's got our city in good financial shape. And we're still low crime and good schools. And I mean, you know, Pearl's a good place to live. And all that comes through hard work and good leadership. And our mayor's a good one.
It was a
We're
good
very
show.
fortunate.
It was a good show, and we didn't touch on everything. We just hit some high points that have been pain points for citizens.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't hit everything, because, oh my gosh, we'd still be talking.
I never get a complaint. Do you get a complaint? I
No,
used
I
to get
don't.
complaints
All the
quite
time.
often during my several years in the Senate, but never get a complaint about the city anymore, ever. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you very much.
Thank
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving, Merry
Happy
Christmas,
Thanksgiving.
Happy New Year.
Yep. You too.
All
Look
the
forward to
above.
seeing you in
Thank you.
January.
Yeah, we will see you guys right back here, same bat time, same bat channel. As they said when I was growing up watching Batman.
We'll still be smiling in January. About February, you'll see us with dark circles under our eyes and needing
Will
haircuts.
you
And,
come up for air this year? I mean, you know, this coming session, because you read so much.
yeah.
Right, I'll let you know what's going on in the world out here while you're busy.
You know, Roy Perdue, a former coach and senator from Pearl many, many years ago, when I got elected first time, he said, "You're not going to believe this, but you're going to read more in 1 year than you read in 4 years of college. And I said, that's impossible. He said, you wait.
And that was when?
Yeah,
When he
back
said
in the
that?
90s. Yeah.
Right.
And he's right. It's awful. I mean, you just got to read. You got to know how to speed read. You got to know how to look for the underline.
Yeah, you got to know how to look for what, and you got to know look for them stars to figure out what they've taken out.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's what'll get you.
Go down and look down in the footnotes
Yeah.
and make sure you pay good attention.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
We appreciate you, by the way. We
Thank you
thank
for
you.
letting people know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been fun. I mean, this is not what my first job is in the city, but
Well, you do a good job of it. You and all the folks that work with you, y'all do good.
well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, there are people behind the scenes
There
over
are
here on the
people
other
behind
side
the
of this
scenes
wall that do a really good
That
job.
do help make this happen.
Yes.
Couldn't do it without them.
That's right.
There's a lot that goes on that people, that's why we do this show, that people have no idea about.
Yeah.
Until we bring it to their attention. Anyway, thank you guys. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. We'll see y'all on the flip side, right?
Thank
Yep.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So when we come back, we're going to talk about what's going on in the city of Pearl over these next few weeks and the holidays. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Here in Pearl, we have Trustmark Park. It seats 8,500 people. It's a great venue that we have here locally. You can catch a baseball game. We have a new team, the Mississippi Mud Monsters, so we're so excited about that. And Trustmark Park, the stadium's been fully renovated. And adjacent to that, we have Bass Pro Shop, as well as the Mississippi outlets that people can come shop and enjoy and have a great time. So it's a good place to come. It's a destination spot for our city. We did a $12 million renovation to our Parks and Rec several years ago, and what we were missing was another key area for our children to come and just be able to hang out and have fun, but also have some playground equipment that was really cutting edge. I've always thought if you can get your community together, then you can have a stronger sense of community. And I think that's what Main Street brings to the table for us. And even though we're a post-World War II city and our architectural doesn't signify a downtown, we're trying to have an area that we create that people can come together and have a sense of community.
Hi, folks. Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. I'm your host, Frank Hutton, and that was an exceptionally good conversation. We could talk, I think, all morning long about what's going on in the legislature with these two gentlemen, but as you can tell, it's going to be another fun year. 2026 is shaping up to be probably a loaded agenda. There's going to be everything from education all the way through PERS and infrastructure and lots of things happening. So it's probably going to be a really fun year. So look forward to our new shows in January, starting in January. We'll be right around the 6th of January when the legislative session starts, and then right behind that we'll start our new show. All right, so what's going on right now in Pearl? Well, as we're filming today, we're coming up on the Thanksgiving holiday. The city's going to close on the 27th, which is Thanksgiving, November, and will also be closed on the 28th. We'll open back up normally on December the 1st. And then the Christmas break, you will see the city closed on the 25th for Christmas and the 26th, that Friday as well. So we'll open back up on the 29th of December, and then the city will be closed on January 1st and on the 2nd. So that Friday. So you will see the Thursday and the Friday closures. That'll be for Thanksgiving, and then the Friday Christmas, and then the Friday, and then New Year's, and then the Friday. Christmas parade coming up December the 6th, right out here in front of City Hall on Old Brandon Road. Go to our website and sign up right now if you want to put a parade in the float. This year's theme is Elves on Main. So you'll see a bunch of little pointy-eared elves running around all over the place here outside of City Hall, and put them on your float and on your vehicle and just have a good time with that. That's December the 6th. Go to our website at cityofpearl.com and you can sign up to put your float in. So hurry, the deadline for that's coming up pretty soon, so you want to try to get that in fairly quickly. Anyway, I've enjoyed bringing you these shows this year. It's been a lot of fun. I've had a really good time. It's made the year go by exceptionally fast. But I've enjoyed y'all watching. Thank you for keeping up with us. And until next year, We'll see you next time.